So we'll start with the plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? It is an selectively permeable membrane. So what does a selectively permeable membrane mean? So we know that plasma membrane is an selectively permeable membrane. So this means that, let us imagine a cell. Okay, cell. The plasma membrane will allow only what is required into the cell. Let us imagine there is sodium, there is potassium, there is calcium. Sodium, potassium, calcium, all three are present. But right now, all three can go inside, but the cell, the inner environment of the cell requires only the sodium. Okay, all the three, that is sodium, potassium, calcium, have the capacity to enter into the cell, but the cell requires only the sodium. In that case, the plasma membrane out of these three will select only the sodium and permits the entry of the sodium, whereas the potassium, calcium are not permitted. So, it selects the molecule which has to enter the cell. At the same time, it selects the molecule which has to go out of the cell. Okay, whatever is present in the cell has the capacity, or it has the, it can pass through the cell easily through various passages. All have the capacity to go out of the cell, but the plasma membrane will not permit the molecules to go out of the cell. Only whichever molecule has to be transferred from the inner environment to the external environment of the cell, only those molecules are being selected by the plasma membrane and thrown out of the cell. So we call it as a selectively permeable. So permeability is the permission to go in and out of the cell. Selectively is the plasma membrane selects what molecule has to enter and how much. What molecule has to enter and how much concentration of that molecule has to enter into the cell. That is being selected by the plasma membrane, and hence we call it as the selectively permeable membrane. At the same time, we also call the plasma membrane as differentially permeable membrane. Okay, we also call it as a differentially permeable membrane. Why is it called as a differentially permeable membrane? Let us again imagine a cell. So we have 50 molecules of sodium. We have 40 molecules of potassium. We have 50 molecules of sodium, 40 molecules of potassium, or let us take it as 50 molecules. Let's not get any confusion. 50 molecules of sodium, 50 molecules of the potassium. Now, inside the cell, there is a requirement of 20 molecules of sodium. Okay, there is a requirement of 20 molecules of sodium, and there is a requirement of 5 molecules of potassium. 5 molecules of potassium. Now, both are in the same concentration. Both are in the same concentration. But the plasma membrane will allow the permeability in different variations. That is, from here it is taking 20 molecules of Na. From here it is taking only 5 molecules of Na. So, it is permeable to both. Right? It is permeable to sodium also. It is permeable to potassium also. It is permeable to both the molecules, but it is permeable in different concentrations. It is permeable in different concentration. Differentially variable. Differentially permeable is it is definitely permeable to both the molecules, but it is differently permeable to the sodium, that is it is permitting 20 molecules. It is differently permeable to the potassium because it is permitting only 5 molecules. So it is not only choosing what type of molecule has to enter the cell and has to leave the cell. What type of molecule has to enter and it has to leave the cell. Not only that is being selected by the plasma membrane, it is also deciding how much concentration of the molecule has to leave the cell or enter the cell. Okay. Hence, we call it as a differentially permeable membrane also. Clear? It is an selectively permeable membrane. It is a differentially permeable membrane. We also call the plasma membrane as quasi-fluid membrane. We also call the plasma membrane as quasi-fluid membrane. So who has given this term quasi-fluid? Quasi-fluid has been given by two scientists. Who are they? There were many theories which were proposed to explain the structure of the plasma membrane. There were many theories, okay? But out of all the theories, one theory was widely accepted, which was given by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. Singer and Nicholson in 1972. So they proposed the quasi-fluid plasma membrane. They proposed the structure of the plasma membrane and they had said that plasma membrane is a quasi-fluid membrane. Quasi-fluid membrane is like a semi-fluid membrane. It is not a complete fluid membrane. It is a partially fluid membrane. It is a semi-fluid membrane anta ಅವರು ಸಿಂಗರ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಕೋಲ್ಸನ್ ಅವರು ಕ್ವಾಸಿ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ if you remember the statement which was there in your NCERT, right? +2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ NCERT ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು statement ಇತ್ತು. The statement was icebergs floating in the ocean. Yes, lipid icebergs floating in the ocean, something like that. ಆ ತರದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? That statement was also given by the Singer and Nicholson. So icebergs floating in the ocean of the lipids, protein floating in the ocean of the lipids another badlu protein icebergs floating in the ocean of the lipids anta ಒಂದು statement na ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. So our statement is very true when it comes to the quasi fluid membrane. Now a diagram nodidaga, so there you will understand what that actually statement means. Okay. Now component of the plasma membrane. What is the plasma membrane made up of? So now we are going according to the Singer and Nicholson model only. So the structure which we are studying here for the plasma membrane is a model which has been proposed by Singer and Nicholson in the year 1972. Okay. So the components of the plasma membrane are the first component of the plasma membrane is lipid. Second one is protein and third one is the carbohydrates. Lipids, proteins and carbohydrates. But however, the concentration of the lipids, proteins and carbohydrates will vary from cell to cell. So we had seen one example, human plasma membrane, right? Human plasma, RBC plasma membrane. So it had around 49% of proteins, okay? Around 43% of lipids, around 8% of the carbohydrates. So likewise, different cells will have different concentrations. Different cells will have different concentrations of the lipids, proteins and the carbohydrates. So anyways, we will be studying these lipids, proteins and carbohydrates individually. Okay. So firstly, the lipids. Firstly, the lipids. So lipids here in the plasma membrane, the lipids are present in a bilayer. The lipids are present in a bilayer. We call it as a bilayered lipid membrane. Okay, we call it as a bilayered lipid membrane. And the lipids, okay, the lipids usually in the structure of a lipid, there is an hydrophobic end and a hydrophilic end. So when you see the structure of a lipid, we see two ends there. One is a hydrophilic end, and another one is an hydrophobic end. So hydrophilic andre enu, hydrophobic andre enu? Hydrophilic is water loving, hydrophobic is the fear of the water, right? So hydrophilic hydrophilic is always the head. Hydrophobic is always a tail. Hydrophilic is always an head and hydrophobic is a tail. So now, if you see the structure, of an lipid, so in the lipid, this is the head and this is the tail. So hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail. Now, in the lipids, okay, in the lipids or in the plasma membrane, there are three types of lipids present. So plasma membrane alli, there are three types of lipids present. The first type of the lipid present is the phospholipid. The first type of lipid present is the phospholipid. So phospholipid alli enirutte. So if you see the structure, the head and the tail, the head is made up of four components. Alcohol, okay, and then phosphate, and then one more alcohol attached to the phosphate. And then these three components are present in the head. When it comes to the tail, it is the fatty acid. Okay. So lipids alli athwa plasma membrane alli ಮೂರು ತರ lipids ಇದೆ. The first type of the lipid is the phospholipid. If you see the structure of the phospholipid has four components. Out of the four, three are present in the head, one is present in the tail. So head alliro components yadu? Alcohol, phosphate, alcohol attached to a phosphate. Okay, one more alcohol attached to the phosphate. Tail alli enide? Tail alli fatty acids ide. In this phospholipid, okay, we have two types of the phospholipids. Phospholipids alli ಎರಡು ತರ phospholipid ಇದೆ. The first type of the phospholipid is phosphoglycerolipids. Tumba books alli they also call it as glycerol phospholipids. They also call it as glycerol phospholipids, but glycerophospholipids antanu kuda tumba books alli baritare. You can directly take this glycero better. Glycerophospholipids alli enagutte antandre, here they have, instead of this alcohol, okay, ee alcohol badlu they have glycerol. Alcohol badlu glycerol irutte. glycerol plus phosphate plus this alcohol plus fatty acids. Plus fatty acids irutte. So illi ee alcohol badlu glycerol ide, mikkidellanu same in the glycerophospholipids. Second type of the phospholipid is sphingophospholipid. Sphingophospholipid. So now, instead of this glycerol, okay, instead of the glycerol, there is an amino alcohol present. The name of the amino alcohol is sphingosine. Sphingosine plus again the same three components, phosphate plus alcohol plus fatty acids. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again. The plasma membrane is made up of three components: lipids, proteins, carbohydrates. Okay. In the lipids, there are three types of lipids present in the plasma membrane. The first type is the phospholipid. In the phospholipid, there are again two types. That is, one is a glycerophospholipid, another one is a sphingophospholipid. Okay, this is the first type of the lipid, that is the phospholipid. Then second type of the lipid, you have taken up this? Huh? Yes. The second type is glycolipids. The second type is glycolipids. So glycolipids is here the lipids are bound to the sugars covalently. The lipids are bound to the sugars by the covalent bonds. Covalent bonds mukantara lipids ಮತ್ತು sugar binding ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. And you remember these glycolipids, they are usually present in the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane. They are usually present on the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane. Outer leaflet antandre, so we will have the structure, detailed structure of the plasma membrane once we complete this. So itara ಎರಡು ಲೇಯರ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so these are called as the outer leaflets. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು outer leaflets ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so the glycolipids are usually present on the outer leaflets of the plasma membrane. Why they are present on the outer leaflets of the plasma membrane antandre, the sugars, okay, the sugars or the carbohydrates will never ever be inserted inside the membrane. Sugars ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ membrane ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ insert ಆಗಲ್ಲ. membrane ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ insert ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ dissolve ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So membrane ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ insert ಆಗಲ್ಲ. They will be exposed to the outer surface. So sugars ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ expose ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the glycolipids cannot be present inside. ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ sugars ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ protrude ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Sugars ಹೊರಗಡೆ protrude ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. So when we see the structure, you will understand it better. Okay. So outer leaflet of the plasma membrane ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಈ glycolipids present ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and always sugars protruding out. Sugars protruding out. Sugars ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಚೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಶುಗರ್ಸ್. ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಶುಗರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? Carbohydrates will never ever be present solely. Like we have lipids, like we have proteins, we don't have carbohydrates present individually. The carbohydrate either should be combined with the lipid or it should be combined with the protein. Either it should be in the form of a glycolipid or it should be in the form of a glycoprotein. So we never ever see the glyco individually. It should be bound either to the protein or it should be bound either to the lipid. So now henge lipid separate component, protein separate component agi ಓದ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಆ ತರ separate component agi ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ carbohydrates. Carbohydrates will be linked either to the proteins in the form of a glycoproteins or they will be linked to the lipids in the form of a glycolipids. Clear? Okay? Huh? Just note it down and then I'll wipe and then we'll move further. So the third component of the plasma membrane is the sterol. The first component was phospholipids and the second component was glycolipid and the third component is now the sterols. The third component is sterols. See, sterols, they are present both in the animals and plant cells, but one of the major sterol called as cholesterol. This is the major sterol present in the plasma membrane of the animal cells. Okay, cholesterol is a major sterol which is present in the plasma membrane of animal cells. When it comes to plant cells, the cholesterol is absent. Comparatively, the sterols are present more in the animal cells as compared to the plant cells. So, if you see the comparison between the animal and the plant cells, there are more sterols in the animal cell, there are less sterols in the plant cell. Among this, the cholesterol is the major sterol which is present in the animal cells and absent in the plant cells. In the plant cells, instead of the cholesterol, the stigmasterol is present. Stigmasterol is present in the plant cells. Okay. So cholesterol, so small molecules which are usually bound either to the proteins or to the lipid molecules in the bilipid layer. So we'll see when we see the structures. So usually cholesterol will be present. If it is in plant cell, instead of the cholesterol, we have the stigmasterol present. Okay. So these are the three types of the lipids present in the plasma membrane. Now coming to the second component. The second component is the proteins. The first component was the lipid, right? The second component is protein. Now, in the case of proteins, there are two types of proteins present in the plasma membrane. The first one is intrinsic proteins, or they are also called as integral proteins. And the second one is extrinsic proteins or peripheral proteins. We'll first speak about this peripheral proteins and later we'll come to the integral proteins. Okay. When it comes to these peripheral proteins, they are usually present outside. Peripheral proteins, so as the name suggests, they are present outside, which are loosely bound to the lipid layer directly, or they are bound to the transmembrane proteins, that is they are bound to the integral proteins. So they are bound either to lipid directly, to the lipids directly, or to the intrinsic proteins, These proteins can be usually removed by a very gentle extraction. So they can be removed. They can be removed by gentle extraction. So this means the peripheral proteins can be removed by the gentle extraction process, that is simply by changing the pH. If you give an extreme pH or extreme acidic condition, so in that case what happens, these proteins will get removed off from the plasma membrane. You need not to give any heat treatment or anything to remove the proteins or to extract these peripheral proteins. Just by changing the pH or by changing the temperature, you can easily extract the peripheral proteins. So they can be removed easily by the gentle extraction process. So gentle extraction process ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ just by changing the nature of the membrane ನಾವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಈಸಿಲಿ ಆ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. They are usually attached by electrostatic and hydrogen bonds. They are usually attached to the lipids directly or to the integral or intrinsic proteins by the electrostatic bonds or by the hydrogen bonds. Okay. Then coming to the intrinsic proteins. So first thing is they cannot be removed by the gentle extraction process. Cannot be removed by gentle extraction processes. Okay. So gentle extraction processes like the pH change, temperature change, salinity change, ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Okay. Then these membranes usually, or these proteins usually will be transmembrane proteins. They will be usually transmembrane proteins. Transmembrane proteins andre, if this is a membrane, okay, let us imagine this is a bilipid layer. Transmembrane andre, the protein should be passing through both the membranes like this. There are some integral proteins which are present like this. These cannot be called as a transmembrane proteins. ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಅನ್ನಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. This is just an integral protein ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅದು ಈ ತರ ಎರಡು ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. It should touch both the membranes. It should be from one membrane to another membrane. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay. So most of the integral membrane proteins are transmembrane proteins only. Then these integral proteins, okay, these integral proteins will also act as transporter proteins. They also act as transporter proteins. Transporter proteins ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ sodium potassium pump, water channels ಓದಿದಿರ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ ಪಂಪ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಮತ್ತು ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ ನ ಇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್, ರೈಟ್, ಇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಪಂಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಗೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕ್ವಾಪೋರಿನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ತರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ತರ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಲೋ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್. Okay, clear? So plasma membrane do components alli the first one is the lipid, second one is the protein, third one is the carbohydrate. But we won't be studying the carbohydrates separately because they never ever stay separate. The carbohydrates either should be present as the glycolipids, which we have seen, or they should be present as the glycoproteins. Clear with the components? So if this is clear, we shall move to the diagram of the structure of the plasma membrane. Just note it down once. So the structure of the plasma membrane. So here I've drawn the rough structure of the plasma membrane, which is showing two lipid layers, which we call as a bilipid layer, right? So this is an bilipid membrane. It is an bilipid membrane. So now this in the bilipid, this is the hydrophilic head, and this is the hydrophobic tail. Hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail. Now, these are the proteins present. The one which I have written in yellow are the proteins. So here, two types of proteins I've drawn. One is, this is an integral protein, okay, and this is an peripheral protein. This is an integral protein, and these are the peripheral proteins. Now, in the integral proteins, either it can be an transporter integral protein, it can be a transporter integral protein, or it can be a water channel. It can be a water channel, or it can be any gated proteins. Okay, it can be a proteins which are acting like the gates for the movements of various molecules. Then these are, okay, so these two, water channel plus the transporter channels. So these are the integral or the intrinsic proteins. Integral proteins. Now here, this is an peripheral protein. It is an peripheral protein. So here, it can either be directly linked to the lipids like this, right? It can be directly linked to the proteins, lipids like this, or it can also be attached to the integral protein like this. They can also be attached to the integral protein like this, either to the lipid directly or to the integral proteins. Now to these proteins, here are the sugars. Now this is an glycoprotein. This is a glycoprotein because protein plus carbohydrate or protein plus sugar is a glycoprotein. So this is a glycoprotein. Now if you observe this diagram, all the glycoprotein, all the proteins, all the sugars are protruding outside the membranes. They are not inserted inside the membrane. They are being protruding outside the membrane. And to protrude outside, they should definitely be present on the outer leaflets like this. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ತರ ಔಟರ್ ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಓಕೆ. Now, here we have one more membrane, one more molecule, which is the cholesterol. Okay, we have the cholesterol here. Clear with this? Okay, lipids, proteins. In the lipids, we have shown here the bilayer with the hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail. See, now let us imagine This is a cell. Let us imagine this is a cell. ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಣ. ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ಒಂದ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಈ ತರ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ತರ ಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ತರ ಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ವಾಟರೇ, ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ವಾಟರೇನಾ? ಎರಡು ವಾಟರೇ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಫಿಲಿಕ್, whereas the tails are hydrophobic. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಈ ತರ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಬಂದು ಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the tails will get exposed to the water. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಳಗಡೆಗೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು? ವಾಟರ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಾನೆ. And water and tails, are they hydrophilic? Tails are hydrophilic? No, the tails are hydrophobic. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಾನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ. This is how the plasma membrane is present in the cell. Clear? Clear with the plasma membrane? This is all about the structure of the plasma.